even believe in good luck and bad luck? Because when this topic came up to me, I was I started second guessing whether or not luck actually exists.
Look, hell of an intro. I tell you what you info, but I never really been the type of dude to give no info. But if you see your ends low and you trying to get a benzo, I'll give your ass some game that'll change the way that you think, bro. Super skilled with the pencil, super ill in my mental. I reminisce on life, I'm nice, here's my memento. Get it through your tempo, I get on any tempo and give it all I got. I'm hot, I got like 10 flows, trying to live on the 10th floor, across from residentials that I own. My mind stayed grown, I used to think clothes, I really used to think hoes and what I do to get those. And then I switched it up, I'm only thinking potential. Yeah, like what you do, homie? What's your vision? How you thinking? How you move, homie? And is you cool, homie? You thinking building, then that's something we could do, homie.
Welcome, everyone. It's Roney and Francis on the mic.
Welcome.
This is the Walk and Grow podcast, and this is the one place where you get to empower your mind and transform your reality. And the best part is you get to do it with us. I know sometimes we say we go back and forth with each other, or we have a guest, but today it's just going to be Francis and I. We're talking about something specific. So Francis got an idea. He got it cooked up, and he's going to go ahead and launch it for you guys.
I don't have
But we
an
want to be able to
idea.
hear from you guys. You don't have an idea?
I don't
So
have
we're
an
just going to
idea.
freestyle to that?
I just have a interesting topic that came up to me this week, and I wanted to just bring it
Okay.
out there. It's not an idea.
There. It's not an idea. It's a topic because it came about him this week, or whenever that was. However, we want to hear from you guys as well. If you do have a topic that you want to hear us do a deep dive on, let us know. Reach out to us, whether it's email, DM, however else you feel comfortable doing so. But we want to hear for whatever topic you guys have, scenarios, so that we could chime in and give our perspective of how we would deal with it. But with that being said, man, how you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Doing great, man. I'm doing great. Nothing to complain about. We still breathing. We still living. We still get to breathe this fresh air. So it's always a blessing when you can do that.
That's good. It sounds like you've been getting some exercise.
Vitamin D.
Exactly. Exactly. North Carolina must be treating you well.
Oh, yeah, it better. I'm not going back. If you know, you know.
I have nothing wrong to say about that, just because I feel the same way. There's no way for me to just go back to the old.
No. If you make progress, I think no one ever wants to go back in time. They always want to move forward. And
Yeah.
so when you have to take a few steps back, it never feels good, but sometimes you got to just to go ahead and push yourself to elevate even further. Like if you were to think about an analogy, right? Since when you're on a trampoline, that first jump is always the smallest. And then you get another one, and it just increases as time goes on. And that's just the same thing. Sometimes you're going to have to take a step back to move forward. But I ain't doing that, boy.
Hey, I hope you're listening. I mean, there's a reason behind that strong will to not go back, and maybe you already know. Maybe you're on your way to find out. But to keep things short and simple, today we're talking about luck, whether it's good luck or bad luck. How, if you come across that in your life, is there a specific day that you remember or time where you were fortunate, you ran into good luck or you ran into bad luck? How did that impact you? How do you approach, a situation like that? General, I don't have a lot of questions. It's just a general conversation about luck. Do
Mhm.
you even believe in good luck and bad luck? Because when this topic came up to me, I started second guessing whether or not luck actually exists, because the way it was stirred, it was like, hey, you always hear about hard work. What does it say? Hard work and preparation. Something about hard work and preparation. But anyway, it talks about hard work and preparation and success being it is hard work where hard work meets preparation is quote unquote the key to success. I can't quite remember the quote, but it goes along the line of something like that. And I started reflecting on like, okay, so if really hard work leads to success, what about those who have been working in certain industry for 20 plus years, and still feel as though they haven't been fortunate, they haven't reached that good fortune in their life? Do you really think that hard work, meets preparation leads to success? It's just like, how do you, yeah.
That's it. And I liked what you said there. First, I do think that there's a such thing as luck. And I think there is a such thing as bad luck. Most people will probably look at those that are successful as, they've just been blessed with good luck. But I look at it as more of hard work, consistency, and of course, preparation. Just to bring it back to what you mentioned, only reason why is for somebody that's been working at something for 20 years, yeah, you showed hard work. That's phenomenal. But were you prepared every single time throughout those 20 years? Because if you weren't prepared, then you probably missed your shot, right? The opportunity was there, but because you just were not prepared at that current moment, you probably missed that the elevator going up just by a few minutes, by a few seconds. So yes, we can always work. You can work at anything as hard as you want. Me personally, I love working smart. What that means, I am going to leverage and try to use other things to help me get there, to help me be prepared for if a moment does come my way. However, I see it as more of preparation is part of that success tool, which a lot of people then says, that person is lucky. Oh my gosh, what a lucky person. It's that person prepared themselves. Maybe they didn't prepare themselves in the way that they could have the best, but they definitely put the work in to get to that point to be prepared for that moment. Who's a person would you say, we both love sports. I hate to call anybody out who was a number 1 draft pick, but that person did not see the success or see anything outside of that. Why is that the case? That person was damn sure to be lucky to get picked number 1. I can't think of who was a number 1 draft pick, but that became just.
Do you want to start
unknown.
Naming names?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's facts. Let's go ahead and let's name somebody. But this is, I think, the
I don't want to be that guy.
Well, it's the truth. I mean,
Yeah.
number 1 draft pick.
Anthony
who
Bennett.
is a number. Okay, so there it goes. Why?
Kwame Brown.
He was. Jeez.
I
Kwame
could
Brown
go
was
on.
actually. But Kwame Brown was actually in the league for a little bit longer, so but for that's somebody who was extremely lucky, I think, to get picked number 1. Not everybody gets chosen number 1. But did you hold your end of the bargain? Did you hold your end of the stick? Were you really ready for the opportunity? I don't know. And that's kind of where it's like, yeah, you were lucky, but good luck doesn't always mean that, you're going to have more blessings come your way.
That's true. But one of the question that I have is, do you actually feel as though you have to be prepared to get to that good fortune, to get to your success? Because think about this. What if you're prepared, and is there a scenario where you could be prepared but miss the opportunity that comes your way because you're either unaware of it, or you thought you were prepared but you're actually under prepared? Can you see that happen?
I mean, only reason why I could possibly see it that way is if you're doing something just one-off. It's not something that is consistently.
Sure.
For instance, I mean, we all have bad performances in anything that we do. Not every single performance is going to be a good one. So if that's the case, you have to be able to be like, you know what, this is a bad one. Let me wrap it up really quickly so I can get out of here. And that's just it. And if you're a type of person where all your performances or whatever you do it at a 10 level every single time, that's phenomenal. when you have a bad day, just be able to recognize it because it will come. It's nothing that we can avoid. It's just, although you can prepare yourself, some scenarios you're not prepared for. So I hope that answers what you were kind of seeking for.
Yeah, it does. To move on from that, do you have an example in your personal life where you were lucky, whether it's in a good way or in a bad way, and looking at it now, not back then, now, what steps did you take to kind of get yourself in that situation and even thrive or fail if it was the case?
Yeah, so the one that I could think of, it's not so much, I would say, luck. It was just, yeah, I don't know if I should use it just because it wasn't so much of a luck aspect. It was more of just recognition of preparation. But the one that does come on the top of mind is when I prepared myself for one presentation that I did in college. And the professor, I don't know why, he just, after my presentation, he says, "Hey, Ronnie, what's your major in?" Like, he called me out, and I'm like, what did I do? But in all reality, he was just giving me that recognition. So I think in that situation, maybe it was good luck, but I don't really see that as good or bad. It's just more of somebody recognizing something. So to answer your question, is there a moment where there was a bad luck situation in comparison to a good luck? I mean, the only bad luck I could think of is, I would never forget this day, New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, I was out and about, and I got woken up that following morning. I was like, "Ronnie, your car's totaled." I was like, "Huh? What are you talking about?" Like, yo, it's too early for this, man. We just got into the new year. Like, get out of here, man. He's like, "No, look." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So that is one of those scenarios where it's just that's a bad luck, bad place, wrong time. My place being, my car being at the wrong place at the wrong time. It's just, that is one of those scenarios I could think of bad luck. What did that really teach me though? It's don't go out as often on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
But I can't think of a good luck scenario.
I don't see, the thing is, as I reflect on it, I don't think from the outside looking at it, somebody can look at your situation and say, okay, yes, that was bad luck. But for when you look at the overall scenario and how that played, maybe that was what was needed for you to be able to get the car that you have now and do the things that you're doing now. You know, maybe it was time for that car to go. So you might be looking at it as it was bad luck, but maybe it was good fortune. The reason why I say that is, and could be a terrible example, but if it's raining outside and you have an important meeting, it's pouring, you can't make it to your meeting anymore, right? Or it's snowing, snowstorm. Let's just use that as an example. To you, that could be bad luck, but to a student who had an exam that just got postponed for a week, that's good luck. You get what I'm saying? So it depends on the situation, and that's why it's hard for me to say this situation in my life was good luck, this situation was bad luck. I think it was just an opportunity for me to experience change, for an opportunity for me to grasp, that chance. If I'm ready, if I'm not ready, it's gonna pass on and go to somebody else who is ready for it. Whether it's good or bad, but I think this situation comes in our life to teach us a lesson about how we're going to change. Because if you think about life, the only thing permanent is change, right? So if that's what we know to be true, all these experiences that we're going through, whether they're good or bad, it is teaching us to change in a certain way. So I know for a fact from, you've known me for a long time. You can look at certain scenarios, certain places I've been able to get into, or things I've been able to get, like shoes in college. Perhaps that's, a lot of people will say, hey, you're lucky because I was always landing on some of the ones that was hard to get. So it could be that, but also nobody was seeing the work that I was putting in, driving to New York to be able to do it, driving in the middle of the week to be able to enter raffles. So I do agree with the hard work, being able to put the effort in. But I don't necessarily think that everything else like consistency and preparation plays a factor in that finished product.
Interesting.
I think if the opportunity is there, you're able, if the opportunity is there and you're aware of it, you can do what needs to be done with the hard work to get to the end of it.
Okay, I'm ready to fire, bro. You got me excited for this one because you're saying, it's not about consistency. Essentially, it's not about consistency or preparation. It's all about hard work. All right. So you're saying essentially anyone could work themselves to whatever, right?
I'm saying once the opportunity presents itself, it doesn't present itself because of the hard work or the consistency. Once you have the opportunity, you have to do the work to then get to the success that you're looking for. Yes, that's when consistency plays a factor. But I'm talking prior to getting that opportunity, right? Because we're talking about right. So we're talking about preparation and hard work, and then in the middle you have the opportunity. I'm saying you can do the hard work. Right? Did you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could do the hard work, which is gonna then present an opportunity, but you may or may not be prepared. You may or may not be consistent when that opportunity presents itself. It's what you do afterwards that is important.
So, and then if you're not prepared, that's when you blow the bag and it's gone. Yeah. So I see how you see it is different from how I see preparation and consistency equals opportunity. Or you could say hard work and preparation is going to give you opportunities. And the reason why I say that is because everybody can work hard. I mean, everybody can work hard. But why is it that there's still such a large difference in terms of why there's such a large gap? And whether it's good luck or bad luck, what causes it? And the only thing I could think of is opportunity, resources, and whatsoever. But that person that has all those different resources and opportunity is the person that's most prepared. So I want to give you an example.
Right.
You have someone who recently somebody who's working really hard, right? Like you said, let's use your example, the 20-year person, the person working 20 years. You give him $1 million.
There. Yeah, go ahead.
You give him $1 million. What do you think is going to happen in 5 years to that person? Do you think, I'll give you a few choices. Do you think their life is going to change? Their life is going to stay the same? Or, life stays the same or life changes? What do you think is going to happen?
This is just a normal person. An average person who is...
average person working 20 years, just busting their ass, doing everything that they should have been doing to take care of whatever they have to take care of. But they've been presented an opportunity to receive $1 million, or somebody that hit the lotto, right? Let's use that. This person hit the lotto. Yeah. Do you think their life is going to stay the same, or do you think their life is going to change forever?
Well, it depends on what they do from that moment on. Are they gonna, put in the work to maintain
What do you think? We're not talking about variables. What do you think?
I think their life is gonna change.
Okay.
I think it's gonna. There's no way. There's no way their life remain the same unless they just take all that and give it to charity. Right. Because you got to think that's the straight answer. Their life is going to change, but the follow-up question to that, is it going to be a permanent change or a temporary one? Right? By that, I mean, are they going to revert back to...
Well, that means their life stayed the same. If they go right back, that means nothing changed.
I guess. But again, that plays it comes down to what you do during that time frame. It comes down to... I
think
their life remains the same?
For the majority, yes. I think everyone stays the same. Because how many stories can we hear of somebody hitting the jackpot, and then next year they're like nowhere to be found?
But what's the percentage though? Maybe they're nowhere to be found because they found a formula to go far away from the public. What's the percentage? What's the, you got to look at the data. Maybe what's being put out there in the news is just a story of those who went bankrupt after they blew the bag. Maybe there are those who were successful enough to be able to turn profit and pave, their way to success even more. Um, I think it could go either way. It really depends on the individual and the work that they put in. If they value that money to where it's like, okay, I can set a foundation for future generation with this, cool. But if I'm just gonna sit on this VIP section here, VIP section there, and just blow it as if it was nothing, then your life remains the same. That's why it really depends on what the person does, and are they gonna be consistent at what they're doing with it throughout, the duration of that wealth. That's why I can't say, because think about this. Like the person who won the lottery, maybe how many of them, we could go back and look at how many of them were consistent or are going to, to play the lottery. You hear story of, I was just randomly shopping at grocery store and then I decided to get one because the numbers were high. Right? This is somebody that just randomly did it. While there are people that are out there every week, I've got to try, but they never win. So that's somebody who's been consistent, but it's not landing for them. I know the lottery is probably the bad example because it's all random.
Well, I think it's a good and bad example. Only reason why is because somebody that randomly says, "Hey, let me play." I mean, that's good luck right there, and especially if you hit, that's phenomenal. Good luck. But for that person that consistently misses the ball and just like, "Oh my gosh, why am I?" They're gonna probably look at it as bad luck. But you said you want data. I got you, my boy. So since '92, and this is a quick Google. I'm not really reading through articles, so if you guys want to fact check this, by all means, please do it. But there's been 1,129 Powerball jackpot winners. Okay? And then I was like, wow, that's actually, it's still a small number in comparison to how many billions of people there are in the world. So I wanted to figure out how many of them became well off. And I just really quickly read roughly 70% lose it all within 5 years. Bro. That's not 50%. That's 70%. That's more than half. Lose it within 5 years. So that, and I go back to, and I wanted to share that or kind of put that light on, because the same analogy that goes, you give a poor person $1 million, they're still going to be poor. Why? It's because they're not prepared for the opportunity. So you can always call it. Everyone, there's 1,000 people that have received a jackpot, and 70% of them blew the bag. You've all got that 1,000 people all have received some sort of good luck, but they didn't seize the opportunity because they, whatever the case may be, just in all reality, they were not prepared for what was right in front of them. Jeez, that is so
you're
sad.
saying, so you're saying in that example that preparation is needed, it's a must.
Yeah, and yes, and I don't want anyone taking my words and kind of discombobulating it and saying that you have to 100% be ready for the opportunity, because we can't prepare ourselves for every little thing that goes on. However, if somebody like myself or even yourself receives any sort of jackpot, best believe I am not losing it in 5 years. There's no way. With my knowledge, with the things that I know today, there's no way I'm gonna lose it. The only way I'm gonna lose it is if I end up in the hospital and I'm in a coma. Like, even then, I probably won't lose it, right?
Right.
But it's just, and the people that probably do receive those jackpot winners, they just don't know what to do. All they know is, let's go and spend, and let's go lose it all, and let's go have fun, and like you mentioned, let's go VIP section, pop bottles. Not to target anybody, but I think that's just the reality of it.
Yeah. Well, I think we can go on and on with this topic, and I don't want to make it too long. I just want to have a conversation around what it takes for an individual to get to his good fortune, to his pot of gold. Does it require hard work, preparation? You mentioned consistency. Um, just as a listener, when you listen to this episode, think about the scenarios in your life where you've experienced what you would consider to be good luck in your own life, or you've experienced bad luck. I know we've talked mostly here of good luck, but there are circumstances where you will look at it as bad luck. But from my experience, the bad lucks that I've experienced have led to some sort of shift in my life that was for the better. I know we can talk about death in the family and things of that nature. It's a tough time, and my take on that is you approach life different. You cherish life a lot better, a lot more when you lose a loved one. That's a change in itself. That's why I'm a big proponent of these opportunities, whether they're good or bad, leads to a change in the individual. I can't say that's the same course for everybody, but to me, you become someone different in that process. What you do with it, what practical steps you can do in that position is what Ron mentioned here, being consistent and making sure that if you're not prepared, at least you're surrounded with people who are prepared to walk that journey with you. Start seeking them out. When you think about that pot of gold for you, or that good fortune that you would like to have, how would you want to approach it, right? Who would you want to be with, and what kind of steps you're going to be taking along that journey? So these are kind of questions that you need to be asking yourself. And if it's an unfortunate situation, what can how can you approach that? What are some of the things that can help you cope with that difficult situation? Um, and and just go from there. I think we all experience good and bad situations, but it's not. I can't tell whether or not it is good for you. You're the only driver of your vehicle.
Yeah. So, of course, thank you for tuning in and staying to the end. Wherever you're listening, don't forget to show love and help us get to our pot of good luck or good fortune, good love, whatever the case, whatever that looks like, by sharing the show. There's only one way that we could get there is with the help of all of you guys. And because, everything we preach over here is all about growing with us and unleashing your power to transform your reality and to empower your mind. So, till next time, keep on applying those perspectives, education, growth, and collaboration.
Peace.